podcast.
You listen to Kendrick and Matt on the Slip and Dip podcast.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Woo! Episode 112, Slip and Dip podcast. Back on the regular schedule, back in your life. 4 guests for the price of 1. Hitting you up with Sodiq Yusuff, fresh off his destruction at UFC 241. Fight of the night performance, Mr. Khama worthy off a hell of a performance at UFC 241. Andrea KGB Lee talking about her future performance at UFC 242. And on the boxing side, boxing's new sensation, Vergil Ortiz Jr. got putting all these welterweights on notice. We got an action-packed show. Kenny Johnson, Matthew Wells coming straight to you from the desert tones of Dallas, Texas, man.
Yeah, man, what's going on, everybody out there in the Slip and Dip world? We appreciate you guys listening. Hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. We got some stuff to get into before we get into these interviews real quick. Boxing side of things this weekend, we saw Kovalev step into the ring and put on a pretty good performance against Anthony Yard. Good performance. What do you think about this fight?
He's showing signs. He's been showing signs of age. I was there when it happened. Andre Ward first fight. That was still the best fight I've seen in person. And he put the book out on how to beat him. He's still a world champion as he got a legit belt, but he's showing signs of aging because Anthony Yardy being his first title fight ever. They said coming to the fight, I think Sergey Kovalev had 128 championship rounds. He had 0. In a championship fight, rounds of championship fight. So that's how much the experience was, and it showed. He showed flashes. He digged in Kovalev's body in the mid round, hurt him in the 7th or 8th round, but couldn't get him out of there. And then once he couldn't get him out of there, Kovalev got that second win and got him out of there with a straight jab. People are talking about it was a hell of a jab. It was a combination of jabs, and the dude was straight exhausted. That's what happened. Watch the damn fight, you would know that. It wasn't necessarily it was a nice jab, but he had hit him a good 15, 20 times in a minute span, and so that was just the finishing of it.
Right. Yeah, it was a good scrap. It was a good scrap. I wasn't mad at the decision. It is what it is, but Canelo.
Canelo gets Kovalev up out of there the way boy was getting that body. Canelo ain't stopping until he get that strap.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. I think Canelo. I'm not gonna say it makes that light work, but I'm gonna say he makes it happen. Gets it on out of there. One other thing we're going to talk about before we get into these interviews is Bellator last night. Bellator 225 was the craziest MMA card in history. Do you think
of the
craziest fights in history.
Do you think MMA fighters are finding ways to start off versus the touching? I'm trying to get somebody out of there. We saw Jorge Masvidal. We saw something similar last night. People are finding ways to start these fights and get them done quickly. You don't think I could do this? Or they doing shit in the gym and they actually pulling it off in the ring. Or the octagon, my bad.
I mean, I don't want to say that that's a new wave or something, but I think
it's more happening more frequently.
It's happened twice. It's happened twice, so that's why I'm not saying it's a wave. But you watch
the minor leagues. I've seen somebody do the Jorge already.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the big stage, it's happened twice. But that kind of stuff happens all the time there's quick knockouts all the time because you have huge gaps in skill in local MMA and regional shows and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's exciting. When you have this fight here, this 11-second heel hook, which is crazy. Amongst all the other things. Listen. This fight right here was crazy as it is, just slapping on a heel hook like that. And listen, when you're that quick, when it's that early in the fight, when it's dry, it's easy to grab a hold of somebody like that and get it done. So props to Aviv on that. But the overwhelming theme of this show was that every single fight on the card, all 14 fights were finishes. All 14. That's insane. Every single fight, there was a finish. The judges were sitting back like this all night long.
What's wrong with that, though?
No, I mean, that's a great thing. It's absolutely amazing. Listen, obviously you can't ever say, every card's going to be that way. But, of course, you want to see that. If you're a fan of fighting, you come to see finishes. And you sit there all night long, however long the card out, 6 hours, however long it lasts, in the arena when you're sitting there. every single fighter that stepped into there. Like 2 men entered, 1 man left every single time. 1 man or 1 woman. 1 man or 1 woman.
He said 2 people entered.
And it was a various like bunch of different knockouts, man. Like you had knockouts, you had submissions, you had everything, and it was just fantastic. And for it to happen on a card like a Bellator card, you know, with that name recognition, is pretty cool. And with no other UFC event to combat with. So a very good night for Bellator. Very, very good night. The main event was Matt Mitrione against Kharitonov, and of course,
he got cocked.
Matt Mitrione had this weird thing going on. I'm trying to find it here. With his mouthpiece kept falling out. Apparently, he didn't have a fitted mouthpiece. Like, I don't know how you're a professional fighter and you don't have a fitted mouthpiece. That is crazy. But yeah, here's some still shots, I guess. I can't find the video on Bellator's Twitter, but you know, I mean, hey, it is what it is. The mouthpiece fell out like 3 times, 4 times actually. And Dan Miragliotta warned Mitrione. He's like, hey, if it falls out 1 more time, I'm taking a point. I don't recall the last time I've ever seen a point taken from a mouthpiece falling out. So that would have been kind of crazy to see. But
I see it in boxing.
Yeah. How long ago though? Like I can't even recall like a recent time that's happened.
Because dudes will do it to try to breathe. They can't breathe.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Because at the Vergil Ortiz fight, there was a dude that was doing that on the undercard. Like he got dropped and he would spit his mouthpiece out just to buy another 10 seconds. Yeah. So I mean, it's a tactic. It's an old school tactic. But
it's more boxing than MMA.
But when Mitrione wasn't doing it, he wasn't doing that. It was like the mouthpiece literally would not stay in his mouth. Like he would get hit on the chin and it would just fly out. Like he wasn't spitting it out. It was wild. It was like you know, you buy these mouthpieces. Everybody that's bought a mouthpiece knows you got to boil it down. You bite on it for a minute, throw it in the ice water, and it stays that way. It was like he took it straight out of the pack, and like I don't know, it was so wild. It was so wild to see.
And a good read for y'all. I don't shut out people's work. People MMA. When it comes to real journalism, but props to this guy named Tim Bristol for SB Nation's Bloody Elbow with this antitrust lawsuit that the UFC and Zuffa are currently under. If you want to know some real deal stuff, read that man's work. Props to him. It's a long read, and I'm not one to read long. He kept me captivated. The man has receipts on how the UFC might not get this antitrust that follows the NBA, the NFL, the major sports, because they've done some shady stuff. And there's receipts to prove it. So we've kind of known it was collusion, but just to see the length of it and what's happening, it's like pretty legit. But it impressed me. I don't get impressed too much by MMA work, so props to him. Had to give that man a shout out. He did a hell of a job writing that piece. Had me captivated.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to talk about it or even know, but you don't you just know because you know the game. Like a lot of us behind the scenes know the game, but he got receipts and went through court documents, got it highlighted. Lorenzo Fertitta text on this day, 2014, to Dana White. Like his stuff's legit.
Yeah, that's called reporting, actual reporting, which is very rare in MMA. That's why I don't call myself a journalist. I call myself a member of the media.
I'm just a fact teller. I'm just a fact teller guy.
Yeah.
He got all the facts in his stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what it is. Here it is right here on the screen for you guys to go check it out. I was trying to pull it up. Titled the UFC Antitrust Lawsuit Docs Reveal the Tactics Zuffa used to choke out their competition. And all this stuff is like public record court documents and text messages and things like that. So, yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. It's very interesting stuff. And, yeah, the UFC is seemingly in the wrong in a lot of things here, but I will leave it at that for now.
We'll leave it to the court of law.
Yeah,
I didn't know that it was going on this long. I knew they had started the case, but I thought it was like a 2-week thing. This seems like it's a 2-3 month thing.
It's gonna be going on for a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hold my breath on when to expect an outcome on that. And I mean, if I can give any prediction on the outcome of that case, I will expect the UFC to get off somehow with very little repercussions.
But I don't think they get that antitrust though. So if they don't get it, that's what they're trying to mess up. So
that's what I'm saying.
So they can get off and not have to pay no fines, but if they don't get the antitrust, it's gonna come back on them.
That's what I'm saying. So one last thing before we get out of here is get you to see these interviews. Again, hit subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. UFC is heading out to China this weekend. And we got the strawweight strap on the line. Jessica Andrade, Weili Zhang.
Is this the Fight Pass card, or is it going to come on ESPN Plus?
This will be on ESPN Plus, sir.
I think I may wake up about 8 and check Jessica out there.
Yep. Bright and early for us here stateside. Main card starts 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, man, 3 a.m. out there if you're on the West Coast. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. All right, I don't know about that. I'm not waking up at, what time does the prelim start? Prelim start at 2 a.m. here at Central. Wow. So, yeah, if you're on the West Coast, you might pull an all-nighter.
Oh, Mark De La Rosa on there.
Yeah. Mark De La Rosa's on there on the prelims. Friend of the show. Fluffy. And
when you got more than 2 shadowy figures, you already know it's craziness. I told you that.
Let's count
shadowy figure versus shadowy figure. Oh, hell.
We got 4, 5, 6. We got the double shadows.
We got 2 double shadows on a card. Oh, no.
7 shadowy figures showing up.
And 4 of them facing each other. Come on now.
Yeah, this card is not going to be very, I don't know. It could turn out to be one of the best cards of the year, Could be. It could be this. It could be UFC's Bellator 225 with nothing but finishes. I would hope so. Especially for us stateside. It means we can get some sleep if you're pulling an all-nighter. But I expect Jessica Andrade to keep the belt here. I don't know how you're feeling about it. Leaning either way. And still, hashtag and still. Let us know in the comments.
I want to see her fight Joanna again because that was the best. I think Joanna's run, that was her most technical, dominant performance. And we got to see right here in Dallas what she put on Jessica Andrade. She was the ring general. She had everything working that night. I'd like to see that rematch so she can be a 2-time champ.
Yep. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win that fight. Jessica Andrade, Weili Zhang. And also, we have a new segment that we're doing this week. We're going to drop that video later in the week. It's called a quick one, too. We're going to throw 2 questions to all of our fighters, all of our guests every week from here on out, just to get their reactions from different things. One current related and one other one just kind of a personal sort of thing. So hopefully you guys like it. Let us know what you think. Be on the lookout for that, rather, and let us know what you think about it. So, yeah, we're going to get to these interviews, guys. We got, like I said, 4 guests. Like Kendrick said, 4 guests. Sodiq Yusuff, Vergil Ortiz, Khama, and Andrea, KGB Lee, in that order. And then we'll hit you back next week with more great guests and more stuff throughout the week if we got it. Anything else before we get into it? Boom. All right, let's get into it. Enjoy these interviews. Hit subscribe button. Share with your friends. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate it. If you're listening on Spotify, hit that follow button. And yeah, that's about it. If you want to show some love to the show, hit us on the Venmo, hit us on the Cash App. All those links are in the description of the YouTube video as well. So we would appreciate that as well to help keep the show going. Until next week, for Kendrick Johnson, Matthew Wells. See you next week.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. Fresh off of his TKO victory at UFC 241 over Gabriel Benitez, Sodiq Super Yusuff. Props to you, brother, getting the hand raised and getting that KO, getting us some action. My wife doesn't know nothing about UFC. She like, I like that guy. He bring it. So you person people that don't even watch the sport.
Yeah, well, I kind of fought for entertainment for this fight. I let my coaches know off the break that we was gonna try to have a firefight, and hopefully we get a first round KO. But if not, it was just gonna be a 3-round battle.
How mentally strong do you have to be to know that you might get caught? Because you did get caught, and you had thrown a good 2 or 3 combination, and he kind of caught you off and caught you with that left hook. You took it like a champ, but how's it knowing going into that's a possibility, like a real possibility, like it's a possibility regardless of who you fight, but the odds are high fighting that style. How do you mentally prepare for that?
Yeah, it's because the risk is worth the reward. A one loss and you taking a chance and getting that win could change your life. That loss is all good.
Yeah, 100%, man. You definitely went in there like you were double parked or something, because he was like, like I had this feel. I was like, what is he in a hurry for, man?
He wasn't getting paid for overtime. But all seriousness, the card was probably. It might be. I don't know what the numbers are now, but I felt like it was going to be one of the best pay-per-views of the year, And you're not going to get that many opportunities to have that many people watch your fight. Especially me, I'm the newcomer to the UFC. So as soon as they put me on that main card, I was like, man, it's just a blessing. I got to take advantage of this opportunity.
100%, man, 100%. It was pretty cool of you to share that clip of your first fight on your Twitter the other day. That throwback, and you hit him with the shoulder shimmy. I had never seen that before. That tripped me out, dude, so much. I was like, man, you caught that dude with that left, and then just shook on him before it was even over.
Let people know, man, that I'm not new to this. You know, I've been doing.
Yeah, man, that was dope. But that just shows one thing. Like, not only are you in there to entertain, but that shows like to do that, you got to have a certain level of comfort. You know, like you got to be real confident in what you're doing.
Yeah, I believe in my power 100%. You know, most of the time when I land, the certain same reactions happen. It's not. That's why a lot of times if you go look back at my finishes, like when I finish, it's not like I'm oh my god, this just happened. You know, like it's been happening since the amateur days. So I have a certain belief. There's certain punches I know that if I land, I was like, oh yeah, this is over.
Are you in the gym? Are you sharpening up your skills for people to finally stop getting the memo? Like, hey, I don't want to stay with this guy. So you are getting that plan B and C in your life for future opponents.
Yeah, the funny thing is a lot of people don't know I'm actually from a jiu-jitsu gym. You know, I just kind of absorbed boxing through osmosis, but I've always been I do jiu-jitsu more than any other martial arts out of all of them. You know, because I train jiu-jitsu every day.
Yeah. So you sounded like Nate Diaz right there. You got wrestling by accident. when he said that after the fight.
To be honest, you know, like it's because I'm in the DMV. There's so many like boxing prospects around here and so many good boxing coaches. That one just kind of like fell into place. But I'm actually from a jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah. What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
Purple.
Purple belt. Okay.
My coach tried to hold me back for a while. He said he wasn't going to promote me, so I put the gi back on. But I kind of forced his hands a little bit.
Dude, man, the gi is so different, man. It's so much different. I started training again recently, so it's like it's a whole new world for me.
We're not even gonna get it.
Yeah, it's wild, man. So this is your second win this year. Are you looking to get a third in before the year's out?
Yeah, one more. I want to shoot for December 7th in DC.
Okay.
So props to you. Not that you lacking in my skills, but you had a game plan. Cause we see these people, what UFC gets me, or I don't know, I gotta get with my team. You had a game plan. Boom, December 7th, put me on there. I don't care who I gotta see. It's like you already had your mind made up before. Did you visualize that? Okay, we're gonna get this firefight. I might get caught. I'm gonna get him out of there. Joe gonna be talking to me, and I'm gonna tell him the deal.
Yeah, 100%. I already had the way I was gonna fight made up in my mind already. And the opponent wise, I honestly don't care because the title picture's not. I mean, the title shot's not in the picture yet, so the opponent wasn't anything big. That's why I said I don't really ask for much, but the only thing I do ask for is to be on the card in Washington D.C. This is like my second home. You know, I've been here ever since I've been in America, and I was like, man, it would be a great story for me to be on that card.
So if you go to here undefeated, are you gonna start calling for some top 10 sharks?
Nah, not until I see a title shot in the picture. Like, I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to try to force my way into making a vendetta with somebody, you know. The energy's better left going into another route.
Yeah. One other thing about this card that was kind of interesting for you was that, you had a teammate on the card, and unfortunately it didn't go her way with Shauna. So, like, when you see that happen, like, does that kind of, like, first off, did you even watch the fight in the back, or were you trying to, like, I don't want to have any bad energy like come my way if she were to lose?
No, I watch the fights, but I'm always locked in. You know, by the time I walk out there, like I say some mantras to myself a lot. I repeat the same stuff. It's like 15 minutes of work, 25 minutes of work. It's like I'm hypnotized by the time I get in there. I'm not really thinking about much else outside of that fight. So it's not something that's gonna ever bother me.
Okay. Cool. So you obviously you said title shot's not in that near picture, but I mean, are you looking to get that top 15, in the next outing or your next couple outings?
I honestly believe that and after the next fight, I'll probably have the ranking. I don't see myself not having the ranking. You know, it was between Shaman and Gabriel. Those are two solid names. I get one more in there, most likely I'm going to be ranked.
Yeah, I mean, it would hard be to deny you that fact. You're going out there racking up these wins like that. I mean, coming off the Contender Series, like, I think you're possibly one of the most successful guys so far, right? I don't think there's anybody that comes to mind that has had so many wins yet.
Yeah, not because I don't see a lot of people fighting as frequently as me. 'Cause I'm sure if I sit back, I could probably think about more. But maybe Jeff Neal, Jeff
Yeah,
Neal's doing it too.
right, yeah.
Dallas's own Chef Neil.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Greg Hardy's had success as well. There's a couple of names, but one of the things that's been kind of interesting over the past few episodes is like it seems like the talent pool coming to that show is starting to thin out a little bit.
I don't watch the show, Sadiq. I tell my guy if they doing something, I'm gonna hear about them. We're gonna get them on the show. You prime example. You live in proof of what I be talking about. I didn't watch your segment on the Contender, but you see where you at and slip and dip because you doing things. So I know about you.
Yeah. I'll you said it, not me.
Oh, so you agree? So you're saying you agree with me?
Hey, you said it, not me. No comment. Well, like you said, whatever you see what they accomplished in the UFC, what said it, not me. It's not my job to pick up new talent.
I'm not trying to judge anybody. Not trying to judge. It's just observations.
So what anime stuff did you watch leading up to the fight week to get you crunk? Or did you watch the anime stuff to get you calmed down? Because I know you had it in your live fight week. I just want to know, was it to get you hype or was it to calm you down?
Yeah, well, the fight week was most of the let time pass by for the weight cut. I was watching Demon Slayer. It just came out this season, but that jumps legit. I read the manga. But the anime, like the graphics on anime is like so crazy. Like the manga is like the story's like mediocre, but the graphics on that jump is vicious.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
You got gonna be jonesing about it in a couple weeks.
Hey man.
Yeah, you got to check out Demon Slayer. It's on it's streaming on Hulu, and man, that jump is super good.
Okay, nice. Take a mental note of that. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm always keeping my ear out for that stuff. Like I won't go search it out myself. I try to hear what other people are talking about first.
Yeah, that's probably so far right now it might be leading so far like anime of the year. Between that and the second season of Mob Psycho. The second season of Mob Psycho. The second season of Mob Psycho is vicious. But then Hero Academy is coming out in October, I think. Maybe October or December. That's gonna be vicious too.
Okay. Good names out there. Yeah, people take note. If you're watching and listening, take note. Yeah, for sure.
So how's it feel like the day after being in the war? You in there and you got your hand raised. You in there for 4 minutes, but it's like you had like a bruised eye at the press conference, and when they talk to you, how long does that take to go down? How much that pain? Because people see you get your hand raised and stuff. They don't see you walking around Monday with one eye and the other one hanging out.
So the eye wasn't much of a problem. It kind of healed pretty quick. The only thing that bothered me for a little while was my knee. And, a couple of his a couple of his kicks landed like direct on the knee. So it took a little bit of time for that pain to go away. But it's all good now. I'll be in the gym tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, so last week was your victory tour week. Now you back at it.
Yeah. Nah, I just take a couple of days to get nice and fat, and then I get right back in the
gym. Yeah. That's the way to tell them, hey, like, don't call me for no short notice fight. Like, let me enjoy some food for a little bit.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, like I said, I've already had the plan going. Is take this fight, get some shine on me, and get on the DC card. Hopefully, man, you never know. I might be able to even get like a co-main event spot or something. I think the main event is Overeem and Curtis Blaze. Is it Curtis Blaze?
Walt Harris, I believe, right?
Racist as a mug. It was a big black heavyweight.
This dude here,
bro.
He wild out. Curtis Blaze and Walt Harris, it might as well be the same person.
Hey, like you said it, not me, right? Hey, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
so you that dude, you be in the back, you don't be saying nothing, and then like you be talking about what you do every fight week. You got all kinds of jokes afterwards after you get your hand raised, right?
Yeah. Now 100 because I kind of go into a different place, man. Like sometimes you gotta lock in. That's why I always write that stuff on my social media. When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Like my coaches and them, like they make jokes and all that stuff, and they say I forget who they say I was. They're like they call me some little celebrity because I'm like a whole different dude. You know, I don't have a lot of time for like small stuff and BS, and like I'm super serious. But after that, you gotta deflate because you can't be like that 24/7. You know, you're gonna take away your love for the game, and it's gonna you're gonna shun a lot of people. But everybody around me knows, my friends knows, my teammates knows. Once it's time to lock in, it's time to lock in. I'm fully 100% down the road. You know, I only got my eyes on the actual fight. But once the fight is over, it's all good, man. I'm back to regular me.
What's your walkout music? Because prelims, you know, they don't show the walkout music. What gets you crunk?
Man, you know, I come out to Kanye West Power all the time. Yeah. All the time. Once, if you ever listen to that junk, like it's a whole different feeling when you hear that junk in a huge ass arena. You know, yes. You know the song. I like to post my walkout videos on my social media too, and I don't know if you can completely feel the energy from just watching the video, but if you're there in person, man, that junk give you goosebumps.
I was just watching that actually a few minutes ago. Yeah, I feel it. I feel that so much, dude.
So I got to start paying attention to your walkout because I remember me and Matt, we had just met Kevin Lee, and like he was like bucking like he was at the club, and like we asked him afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, I've calmed down since I got older." I'm like, "Damn, how far up were you at when you first started this shit?"
You got because some people, everybody has a different type of vibe they're trying to be on when they're about to fight. Because you see some of these people come out to that little mellow music.
Yeah, they be stone cold.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Power, that gets me exactly where I need to be at.
And then you got like DC, he comes sprinting out. It's like, damn, you got to work out before you even get in the cage.
Yeah, him and I think Frankie Edgar, they do like a sprint.
I think the best is Anderson Silva and John Jones. Like who they are, but they in no hurry to start the fight. Like you waiting on them. They're in no hurry whatsoever.
Yeah, man. It's I guess one of the things, like from that video, like I guess that was one of your coaches taking that video you posted up last. But like it seems like that light, like it seems like it's kind of blinding you a little bit from the camera.
Nah, I think it's just the camera because in real life it's right above your head.
Oh, okay, so it's not right in your eye like that.
That's like I remember my coach is like 6'4", so
it's like 6'4".
It's the way he's holding the camera up, you know. So, but in real life it's like right above your head. It's like some real like Dragon Ball Z type stuff. You know, you're about to go to a camera, 2-man lead. You'll be surprised how much of this anime stuff fit out with real fighting, man. Once you get the actual skills, you can be as nerdy as you want.
Anime, boy. Y'all just anime. Y'all wow.
Man, you and Adesanya, man, you guys tap into that for real.
Yeah, now when you're younger, there's a lot of good lessons you could pick up from that stuff, man. Like especially it teach you a lot of good morals, but it also teach like I used to be like a big fan of like Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. And those are the type of shows that always like prioritize the lessons of working hard. It's like you watch like regular American TV, they'll talk about like being nice and teamwork and stuff like that. But you watch anime and shonen, they talk about how training and working hard helps you win fights.
Yes.
Training and working hard helps you win fights.
That's conscious as a kid, you know. It's just subconscious as a little kid. When you grow up, you don't even know where you get it from. But I don't know. I know I get a lot of it from my mom, but I'm pretty sure that plays a big part into it too.
Yeah, man, that was like the main theme of like Dragon Ball Z. It was all about like individual, like fighting, like working hard, like overcoming like every obstacle possible. You know, doing the impossible. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. That's like really accurate because like just thinking like some shows I used to watch like growing up, like the Ninja Turtles, like it was all about teamwork and everything like that. Like he said. You know, yeah, man, that's a huge difference. That's something I didn't really think about till just now.
Yeah, y'all lost me with the anime.
Man, you don't know what you're missing. That's how it was, especially like back in the day when anime was like more of a subculture type stuff, and all these people wouldn't watch it because they thought it was like for losers. And now that anime is more of a now they're seeing like how good it is, and they're like, man, we wasted all this time. Like you missed years and years of good shows, you know. It's like now you're watching the stuff that's just popping now. You got to go back in history. Like, man, I'm kind of on board. You would like it.
Also, I was in college. There'd be grown ass people watching Dragon Ball Z like this, like locked in. Like you got to shake them like they're a kid. What's up, Herbert? Going to the club? Hold on, man. What's up? up. Like, damn, this dude's a grown ass dude, like locked in, like this.
Hey, you gotta get on board. You're the one that's missing out.
Yes, 100%. Hey, there's a reason the best Spider-Man movie ever is an animated movie, right?
100%. There you go. That's my dude right there, yo. 100%. Like that one just blows the other 4 or 3 of them out the water. It's like it's not even close. And then I saw the best thing they could do is probably try to find a way to make that like Enter the Spider-Verse, try to make that with real people. But like you said, like it's always going to be better animated.
100%. Yeah, you just do so much more with it. You can be more expressive, in different things, and of course you can get obviously creative with the animation as well. Yeah, it's just so much better.
Let's get to fighting. I feel like we're losing Kendrick little by little, man. He started listening to music and shaking his head, man. We get back to talking about the UFC now.
Right? Yeah, wow,
100%. Yeah, man. So let's do this thing, because we have our 2 questions of the week. We're gonna be asking everybody this week. So let's hit you with the first one. First one is give me your prediction for Khabib versus Poirier.
Man, I don't know why, but I have a very, very strong feeling about Dustin. I feel like Dustin might be able to touch his chin and put him out.
You gonna put some money on it?
It depends on how big the odds are, but something's making me feel like I don't have any logic to back it up, but I have a very strong feeling like Dustin's gonna put him to sleep.
Gotcha. And the second question, who's that person? Be a homeboy, non-relative, that girl back in the day? How would be a UFC fighter that's kind of laughing in your face so you could be like, look at me now. You can pop that collar on him in 2019.
Man, let me think. Maybe my 7th grade math teacher. When I first came to this country, I had a hard time adjusting. He ain't make that job any easier, yo. Because I still had my accent. And we were so broke. He used to make fun of my clothes and everything. So I used to get bullied by my math teacher. So it might be him.
What you gotta say to him now? That you up in the UFC doing things, shining.
I just want him to see me shining. If I run into him, I might have to shoot the fade with him. It's like it's not like a friendly type of showboating. Like, I don't want to talk to you. You might have to see me with them hands. Like, old dude used to bully me. Yo. I was a little kid.
Dang. Wow. Yeah, man. I'm sure he's tuning in right now. Super salty.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson, if you're watching me, you watch your back.
Oh man. Yeah, that's the way to end it right there, man. Super Sodiq rejoining us back on the Slip and Dip podcast, man. We appreciate the time and congrats on the win.
Hope we get you up at the end of the show, because you know since you getting the call now, so if you get another fight, you definitely gonna come back on.
Yeah, 100%, man. I had a great time the last time I was on too, so I always gotta get with y'all.
You gotta be locked in. You gotta be locked in on this joint now.
I don't know if I'll be able to come before the fight, but I'm always available after the fight. Like I said, before the fight, I kind of turn into a different person. So y'all not gonna like me.
It's like, appreciate the love, da. Then he hit you after the fight. Who are you again? I wish a man congratulations.
I never saved your number. That's why I never saved your number on my phone. And so, like, when the new text message came up, all I just saw was congrats on the fight, And then when it started asking for more details, I was like, all right, man, I got to figure out who the hell this is.
Positivity, though. You see the positivity.
Yeah. Nah. I have it saved now, though. I ain't going to forget.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a nice one, y'all.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. One of the most hottest fighters in boxing game today. He's a firmly planted at 147, a.k.a. the welterweight division, fresh off his knockout of Antonio Relentless Orozco, Mr. Vergil Ortiz Jr.
How you doing?
How's it feel to be a couple weeks removed and still undefeated?
I'm sorry?
How's it feel to be and still undefeated now that you're a couple weeks removed?
It feels great. This fight, I knew it was going to be a tough fight. He definitely came to fight. And I wasn't sure how it was going to go down. And once we were in the ring, I definitely felt like the energy of my home crowd. And the first round was a very energetic round. I knew I had to slow it down just a little bit. And, we just went with the flow and got the knockout.
Yeah, energetic's an understatement, man. Because I mean, the roof came off the building when you were walking out, and then as you started, you came out on fire too. So it was like nobody was sitting down. Everybody was excited, man. They thought they were gonna be heading out after the first round. But,
I know.
He gave you a little resistance, but hey, you said, all right, man, I'm gonna get you all out of here.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I noticed though, because we were sitting there on press row. One thing I noticed about you is like once you notice you get your opponent hurt, man, like you get this completely different look on your face. It's like it's not even.
His finishing skills are second to none.
It's like it's a completely different dude chasing his opponent around after you see you got him hurt. Like, so what's it like? Like when you see that, like, do you feel that difference? Like, it's like, all right, it's time to get him out of here.
Oh yeah, I can definitely feel like. I can literally feel the weakness. I can sense it, and when I hit him with the first body shot, I wasn't sure if I hurt him or not, and then I hit him again, and he made a face. It wasn't exactly like I'm hurt face, but he looked like very annoyed almost, and I'm like, you know what, that hurt him. That's when I went after him, and I started, I was trying to take him out. But he was doing like, he has experience, so he knew how to like not get hit by all those punches. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna waste all my energy out here in the first round because he is a tough opponent. What if I don't get him out in the first round? I just wasted all that. But I grounded myself and I just took my time.
How big a deal was it to get the stops? Since he had never been stopped, and he's been in the ring with some tougher guys. So how's it going to be that guy and add it to your list of people that you stopped that hadn't been stopped before until they saw Sodiq Ortiz Jr. in the ring?
It feels great. When I fought in the press conference with Mauricio Herrera, he said that I hadn't stopped anyone that had never been stopped before, which I had. I don't know if he just didn't like research enough, but now no one can say that. No one can say that about me.
Did you hear about the fight that happened right before you came out? Like before y'all fight, they had a fight instead.
That was crazy. They told me it was a fight, man. That was the Royal Rumble, man. That was crazy.
like dude hit the security guard and apologized. Like
I saw that. I saw that. He's like, "Oh, my bad, bro."
Yeah,
I saw that.
One thing I can get like, okay, tensions are gonna flare time to time in a boxing and an MMA crowd. But why are you going to fight right before the main event? Right before the fight you paid to come see? Like that makes no sense.
That's probably why they were so rowdy when I came out.
It don't make no sense to me, bro. I'm like, okay, if you know you're going to get in a fight, like you might as well do it 3 fights ago. You're going to do it right before Vergil's walking out? Like,
that was crazy.
That don't make no sense, man.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. So did people post those videos up? Because I was looking for them, but I didn't see them anywhere.
Oh, man, I have them saved. You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, I'm going to need you to shoot one over to me, bro. I need to see that.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was like a good 20, 30 people involved in that for me.
Man, it was.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I recognized some of them, I swear.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Vergil, how big a deal was it to had nothing to your own doing with you got the biggest fight of your career, fighting in your home backyard, and you had all this Golden Boy shit that had nothing to do with you, but you had the answers because it's like you had the flag for Golden Boy for that week. How was that? Because that's something you don't script. You can't script all the craziness with Ryan and Canelo popping off. How was that to handle? Because that's like something that's unscripted.
Honestly, I didn't feel. It just felt like another fight to me. I mean, it was a big fight. It was my biggest fight. But other than that, there wasn't anything, no outside pressures or anything of that. I did have to give some props to Golden Boy. So, just remind everyone that they're the promotions and that they're the best at what they do.
Does it bother you that people basically talking about your company that you represent? Because there's a lot of crazy people talking craziness. Like, they only got all the facts, They're just talking off in the window.
I mean, there's always gonna be those type of people. Someone always has to put their 2 cents in and don't really know what they're saying. But I mean, that's life. Everyone's gonna do that, so it doesn't bother me. Honestly, I don't really worry about too much of what people have to say, because if you worry about it, then you're just gonna be reacting to all that. I don't need to be let people get a reaction out of me.
Gotcha. Hey, yeah, for you to like be your first time on that stage in that situation, hey, you passed with flying color. I'm not even talking about just like a lot of people look at the fight stuff. Me and Matt look at the mental, like your mental game was. It's like, okay, this guy, because as you know, this is gonna be bigger and harder stages. It's like you just like, man, you meant for this. So props to you. Hey,
No,
we support Golden Boy. Tell you Golden Boy people, Oscar and all them. Hey, we cool. We got no problems with Golden Boy. We Switzerland. We neutral.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're recording this on August 25th. I see on your box rec you got a suspension until the 29th. So was that from that hand injury that you got after the fight or what?
I have no idea. It's usually like 3 days, but I don't know if it's because it was a 12-round fight or title fight. I mean, the doctors, they just, you should have seen how fast the doctors checked me. They just checked my eyes and somebody signed a paper and that was it. So I don't think it's anything other than that. I think it's like a 12-rounder or something.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to get that information, just searching the internet. So you don't, so like nothing wrong with your hand, because I know it was kind of hurting a little bit after the fight, right?
Oh yeah, they were definitely like swollen and they were sore, but other than that, they're fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So no other medical issue then popping up?
No.
Okay, cool. Just want to get that straightened out.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, suspension. I didn't hear anything about that. That's kind of wild, but
no.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my first 12-rounder. It's going past 6 rounds. I don't know if how they do that, how they decide that, but I had no issues with the doctor or anything. They looked at me for like 10 seconds, so I don't know.
Interesting. So have you been already hitting the gym again and preparing for the next one?
Yeah, definitely. I already started my strength and conditioning. We're gonna head to the boxing gym pretty soon. I was already running like last week, so I always stay in shape.
And do we have any idea of when you're looking at your next one?
I mean, definitely one more time this year, November, December, but like honestly, I really don't know. I really don't know, but for sure one time, that's all I know.
Okay. And about that, like, are you holding out for anybody in particular? Or are you ready for that title opportunity? Like, what's the state of your career at this point? When you step in there for the next one.
You know what? I feel like I'm just at this point. I feel like I'm on like standby, not on my fights, but like if one of these guys, like if a champ's opponent falls through, then maybe I can step up. Because I don't see these guys giving me a chance. They don't want to fight some 14-0 guy. Like, what's in it for them, Like, if they beat me, he was 21. But there's not enough, like, gain for them. So I don't think that they'll give me a chance. But, I mean, hopefully within, like, 2-3 fights, my popularity, my rep will go up. And they'll be willing to take the risk of fighting me.
Are you willing to take the long game? Because, like I said, you're 22, right?
I'm 21.
21. So are you age is on your side. All of them were like 29 to 31 in that early. They still got problems in their career, but you definitely gonna be the young lion. Are you ready to rate them out? Say when you get a title shot for 2 years, or you want it now, or are you cool just going through the process?
I mean, I don't mind waiting like a year or two. I definitely don't want to wait till they're too old. Then you're gonna have people saying, "Oh, he fought old
Matt."
Well, whatever. I really don't like that. I want a credible win. I don't want anyone making up excuses for anything, I just I want people to know that I'm the real deal.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of touched on, when your popularity gets more, your name gets bigger, but immediately after that fight, everybody was talking about you and Errol Spence carrying the torch for the DFW area. So you're already being mentioned in that same breath as the guy who's about to have, one of the biggest fights of the year against Sean Porter. So, when you hear that talk, like, what's that make you think about?
It just it reminds me of the days when we used to train together. I mean, we used to train in Viveros. We both train hard. I used to watch them spar all the time, and it's crazy to see how far we've gotten.
Yeah, 100%.
How exciting the fact that DFW is coming a hotbed for all these big fights. Like, your fight came out the heels of that Maurice Hooker fight. Earl fought earlier this year at Jerry World. Like, big fights are starting to come to Dallas on the regular. We got no problems with it. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Yeah, for sure. That's the plan.
Oh yeah.
For somebody that hasn't seen you fight, like, one of the guys said that you have a superior Mexican style. Well, how can people haven't got the memo? Like, you fight, you got the Latina La Viva La Raza, but you do not have a Mexican style. You have a legit like skill. You're not trying to ball. You very pick your spots. Does that trip you out that people still think that you have the Mexican style because you get people out of there, even though you don't? Because you don't do the you hit me, I hit you style.
Yeah, I mean, some people have different like definitions of Mexican style. You know, like some people think it's just hit and get hit, which is like what you're not supposed to do. But if you pay attention to like some Chavez, some Salvador Sanchez dude, they would hit and they would move their head really good. And it's just it's almost like hit and not get hit, but it's more like coming forward at the same time. It's kind of Mexican style, I guess.
100%.
Yeah, some people just have different definitions.
So not putting yourself in there. Can you rank the top 4 or 5 welterweights that you think right now that's currently in the division, from top to bottom?
Say that again.
Who is your top 5 welterweights
top 5
right now?
In welterweight. The first one is it's a tie. I mean, Crawford and Spence. That's a hard one to choose. I'm leaning more towards Spence. But they're definitely like the top pound for pound. Then I would have to say Pacquiao. Let me see, Porter, and there's another guy.
Thurman?
Not Thurman. No, I don't. He's not in my top 5. No.
That's fine.
Let me see. I would say Danny Garcia is like 6, but there's one more guy. He just fought. I don't remember his name, but he's in my opinion like better than like Danny Garcia and Thurman.
So would it be safe to say you think Thurman and
Ugas?
Okay.
Ugas. There you go.
Okay. Would it be safe to say that you think that Thurman and Garcia's better days are behind them? That they're on the back end of their career?
I would say that Thurman is. I think Danny Garcia, he's still in his prime. He can definitely still do something. He's not a scrub at all. He's a real fighter. There's just fighters that are better than him. Yeah.
Could you fight either? Would you be excited to fight either one of them today? Like if they were your opponent by the end of the year, would you be ready to roll?
Oh yeah, you know what? If they tell me you want to fight this guy, I'm like, hell yeah, that's a big opportunity. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to take easy fights. I want to make my name great. I want to be remembered.
100%. So I want to switch gears on you a little bit. I want to talk about food.
I just ate Whataburger.
Okay, yeah, a Whataburger. So the whole internet's going crazy over this Popeye sandwich. So have you had one yet?
Man, I haven't. The lines have been crazy, dude. Crazy.
So you've tried to go get one, and you were just like, I saw the line, and I was like, all right, nah, this too crazy.
There's literally a Popeyes like right next to a Chick-fil-A. You would not believe it. The Chick-fil-A line there was nobody there. We just went to the Chick-fil-A. We went Chick-fil-A instead of Popeyes, but I'm gonna try it. But when the line goes down, maybe like in a week.
It remind me how remember when I first came to Dallas, everybody taking 2-hour lunch breaks to get a burger.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Man.
I've tried to get it twice. There's a Popeyes right by my house. I've gone twice, and they've been out.
Sold out. Yeah.
This time when I went today, they had cardboard boxes stacked up with printouts saying no sandwiches. Like as you're driving up to the drive-thru.
No, there was a video that went viral. It was like they called a Popeyes, right? And they said, "Hello, this is Popeyes." And then the girl's like, "We just want to ask." And then the lady cut him off like, "Yep, we got him. That's funny.
No, it's serious business, man. It's serious business.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get the report. I've been trying to get the reports from people that had it, but you're in the same boat as me.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's just, it's crazy what like one viral like tweet or video can do, and then you just get the train rolling.
I'm a cousin that owns a Chick-fil-A, so I'm on the Chick-fil-A side. When I go cover fights in New York, I stay with them. All I do is say, "Hey, my cousin such and such." They put the card up in there. Boom.
Yeah, man, dude, Chick-fil-A's the go. I don't care. Yeah. I love Chick-fil-A.
I saw you also tweeted out not too long ago. You're like, I'm not like into like fine dining and all that stuff. You just want like that regular food. Like, do you have a bad experience with the fine dining or what?
Man, you know what? Fine dining, you pay a lot and they give you less. That's how I see it. And a lot of the times, it's all these exotic like flavors, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to just give me a burger with some bacon and avocado. I'm straight.
What's your favorite Mexican restaurant in the DFW area?
My favorite Mexican.
I keep it neutral. I kick it with Chewy's.
I like Mariano's. It's by Six Flags.
Okay.
It's really good. You should try it, man. I like the quesadilla, bro. I mean, quesadillas are good everywhere, but they got some good food.
Okay. Let me check that out.
Yeah.
Is it just one location, or is there a couple in the area?
I'm not sure, but it's the first place to have a frozen margarita machine. The very first.
Oh, really?
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, the very first.
Man, they started a problem.
Yeah, they did.
Across the world.
For real.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure then.
Vergil, tell me this: you because of course you're full Latino. Do you take somebody's playbook like a De La Hoya to try to appeal to both sides that you're Mexican American? I know with your music it's always Latino, but how De La Hoya would do like the first 45 seconds be Latino, and then like the last part be American. Is that something we can see you do in the future, or are you just gonna keep doing what you're doing to appeal to the Mexican fan base? So are you gonna try to go both ways like De La Hoya did back in the day?
I mean, I definitely need to pick up my Spanish a little bit. Mexicans are a big fan of boxing, and they'll definitely be like my fans. I mean, I'm Mexican American, so I'm not exactly sure what Oscar did, dealing with that. I'm sure he knew Spanish. That's all I know, but I know I need to pick that up and make my fan base grow even more.
Oh, so are you bilingual, right?
I'm almost bilingual.
So you have to think when you do Spanish. You have to think then when you do Spanish interviews.
Yeah, I gotta think, or I gotta know beforehand what I'm gonna say. And I mean, I'll have my good days where it just comes naturally to me, but sometimes I do gotta think about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but for the most part, I understand it.
Ain't no Espanol in Grand Prairie. He was all the brothers.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our. We have our new segment that we're doing on the show. It's our questions of the week. So we got 2 questions we're gonna throw at you. First off, I guess the first question is gonna revolve around do you watch the UFC and are you you keep up with it a lot?
I don't watch UFC. I mean, I watch some big fights. I like to watch Amanda Nunes. Dude, she's a monster. She really is.
The GOAT, greatest woman of all time. The GOAT.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, she's a monster. And I watch Cub Swanson. I used to train with him back in World Diaz training camp. Wow. So I like watching him fight too.
Okay, so this week's question, since we had 3 MMA fighters on the show this week, upcoming title fight in the lightweight division is between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dustin Poirier. So are you familiar with that fight?
I've heard of Khabib.
Okay, well then I'll switch it up on you since I know you're familiar with this fight. So who are you taking in Errol Spence versus Sean Porter? I'm taking
Spence.
Why?
I'm taking him because he's just a stronger fighter. I believe he's smarter. Porter, he takes the fight to everyone. Everyone knows this. I feel like Spence even has the power to knock him out. We seen, who did Porter get dropped by? I forgot who he got dropped by, but
Broner.
He got dropped. Broner. He got dropped by Broner. If Spence hurts Porter, he's gonna stop him. I believe he can stop him between the rounds 5 and 9.
Wow.
Those will be the golden rounds to stop him.
Wow. I think Errol wins, but I think it goes to the decision because Sean determined.
No, definitely. Porter's he's a very durable fighter. I just think that Spence's power is unmatched in welterweight.
Gotcha. I like it. And question number 2, you're 21 years old, the pride of Grand Prairie. Who's somebody via a chica back in the day, or old novia, or just a teacher or somebody, when you say, I'm going to be a professional boxer like De La Hoya, and they're like, yeah, right. That was laughing at you. Who's somebody that you want to pop your collar on and be like, look at me now. Who sucks now?
Nah, I don't want to come up like that, but there was one teacher that she told me, why are you in boxing? I'm
like, name.
Well, that's just what I do. And I don't know her name. I really don't. It was a 4th grade teacher, though. But she wasn't my teacher. Sometimes you would, switch classes and stuff. I don't remember her name, but she told me, dude, it's just a hobby. Don't worry about that. I'm just like, okay. I'm not going to – I'm going to act like I heard that, but I'm not going to say anything,
So if you were to see her now, what would you tell her?
I'd just be like, well, it's not just a hobby anymore.
You're like, my name is on the marquee, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'm doing it. This ain't no joke no more.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So you're the second person that wanted to throw some shade back at a teacher. So that's dope.
Nah, but even then, even as an amateur, that's not even a hobby. You gotta like live, eat, breathe boxing. Like you don't just train in the gym. When you go home, you gotta keep your weight low. You can't, you're about to fight. You gotta keep your weight low. When you go to school, you gotta. I mean, you do gotta make sure they're keeping your grades up because they're not gonna let you leave to go to no tournament. So boxing 24 hours.
Tyler, good to start to focus on that before we let you go. Like you don't have to worry about nothing but knocking people out, getting paid, being in shape. It's a lot easier than that. You don't have to worry about school.
Exactly, man. When I graduated, I was like, finally, man, because it was tough doing both of them. But I mean, I got it out the way. Eventually, I do want to go back to college. I actually missed math class. I love math, but I mean, other than that, I just right now I needed this break from school.
That's dope.
Yeah, we think you made the great career choice.
Yep.
Right. No doubt, man. Well, Vergil, man, thanks for coming back on the show. We appreciate your time. Congrats on the win. The fantastic knockout performance, and we look forward to seeing you in there again very soon, man.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Please welcome to the Slip and Dip podcast. Fresh off his KO victory over Devontae Smith at UFC 241. Most people didn't know who he was before the fight. They know who he is now. Mr. Khama Worthy. Thanks for joining us on the show, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. Honor.
And thanks for proving the theory I have. We have a behind-the-scenes thing. When people don't be showing up or picking up the phone, they tend to lose. Your opponent did not pick up the phone. You put him to sleep. So thank you for proving that theory right. That's a true story. You can't script this. It's happened to multiple people. I'm talking about I need multiple hands to count.
I refuse to subscribe to this theory.
But he knows it's true, though. He knows I'm not lying, though. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, man. So it's wild, man. You've been kind of like on a roller coaster of emotions, so to speak, right? Over the past few days.
Yeah, man. I'm just getting back to like normal life, like feeling and shit, like back to like taking out the garbage and shit and doing regular people stuff and going shopping. Even though like now, like I'm in Pittsburgh, so like I'm going shopping and people recognize me and stuff. So it's a cool though, but it's not just so much going on as it was before, but it's still cool though.
So what's clicked for you over the last 2 years after losing to Kyle Nelson and Anthony Reddick?
I'm really just going up a weight class because I was at 145 and I was like, once I hit 30, my body just got bigger. I just got bigger. Like, I mean, my body was just a lot thicker. Even the 2 fights I fought before that, making 145, I missed weight by 1 pound. And then the one before that one, when I thought Antonio Castillo almost died. Like there's a picture, a weigh-in picture of me, and people always make fun of me because I just look like Pookie. It's just like fucking like stretched out and shit. It's just not a good look. So like making 145 just started to get harder and harder and harder for me.
So you got to talk about that's one of my co-host pet peeves. You got him started.
Dude, I can't stand weight cutting, man. I hate the whole thing of like guys got to go in there and kill themselves for a scale and then step in the octagon the next night and try to kill themselves again.
That's just the game. I hate weight cutting. I wish they could be like, hey, let's eat cheesecake and then show up and fight. But you have a whole bunch of like fighters just getting tired and shit. Like that's the truth. Like if you didn't have to make weight, motherfuckers wouldn't be in shape. Motherfuckers be not in shape and they still got to make weight and shit. So I think if there wasn't weight cuts, like people would just show up fat and lazy and be sitting there like fights just wouldn't be as fun.
I'm not as hardcore about it as Matt, but the thing is like this is how much it don't make sense. Like y'all both came into the octagon about 170, 175, but then y'all both walked down 155. Like why did y'all just fight at 170, 175 and cut all that craziness out? That's make too much sense, right?
I don't like to go back in too big. Like I don't like to get above like 173, 172. I was actually only 167, 168 for that fight. And I drank a little bit of water and stuff before I fought. So I was maybe like 170 or so. So that's I don't really like to put back on that much weight because like I think it like affects my performance. When I was fighting at 145, I was putting back on like 20 pounds by the time the fight came and stuff. And then I just think that's just a lot to put back on.
Yeah, man. It's wild to me because it's like we've had you know a guy I'm sure you reckon you know the name Paul Felder who's been on the show when he fought
he beat me. Yeah, fuck I know, that motherfucker knee me in the face.
Yeah, but you know, when he was on show, we were talking weight cutting, and he was like, you know, hey, fight at 155, but my optimal weight is 170. So why are you cutting his weight? You know, and he's just like, hey, it's a thing we all do. You know, but it's
Paul's a big dude. I mean, Paul cuts down. I think he cuts down for like 190. Yeah, he's a big motherfucker. Like I maybe cut down for like 182 or so, 183. That's me like eating and shit for like I'm not doing shit for like a week and I'm like 183. Paul cuts a lot of weight. He's a big 55er. Like some people are just bigger, but he also has fought at 170, which lets you know he was too small for 170 though. Like Mike Perry was way bigger and way stronger than him, so he definitely belongs at 55.
Yeah, gotcha. And for people that don't know, Khama and Paul fought way back in the day, back in 2012. Yeah. So that's why I was like, trying to put it out there like that and bring up old memories. You know,
Paul, I motherfucker need you in the face. Like, yeah, I actually talked to him all day. I talked to him. He's a real cool dude. When I was cornering Adam Milstead and stuff, he gave me a shout out and stuff. So he's super cool dude. Always real chill, laid back, respectful cat.
What do you want to say to some people that think like, oh man, this is just like some little scribbly. It's a fluke.
What?
Your win over Devontae. Well, people, and how does it feel to derail his train because he's had a lot of hype behind him. It seemed like he was believing in the hype because he stood in front of you very casually and you made him pay. I laugh when cats do that, but if you ain't making them pay, that's what you get. But you punched that ticket. It was night.
Right. Yeah, I mean. But it's for people saying it's a fluke. I'm like, I'm 15-6 with 11 finishes. I have 9. I have 8. I have like 9 knockouts on my career. Yeah. I'm like, people be like, oh yeah. I'm like, nah, dude. I've been knocking motherfuckers out since I started. Like my first amateur fight was a violent knockout. I've been knocking people out. That's the thing that I do. I may not look the part. I don't look like a big, scary sledgehammer Thor looking motherfucker, but I will catch you. like I'll still catch you.
So even expanding on that, like this whole theory that I've seen around, especially a lot since Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua in the boxing side of things. This whole theory that people like to throw out, lucky punch. Like, how are you going to say another professional fighter who trains professional fighting does anything lucky?
You knew what I was trying to do. I mean, that punch that I landed, that was far. That was the complete opposite of luck. That was like pinpoint accuracy, like time. That was like timing and precision, just perfect. Everything come like some fucking like 18 type shit. Like I love when the plan comes together. Like, and the average fan will see it and be like, oh, that's some basic shit. But if you train with me and my coaches, you know how I fight. You'll be like, oh, okay. If you watch some of my other fights, you see I do shit like that. Like I'm not a big like haymaker type guy. I'm a calculated striker, and I pick, and things come together. Like the hook wasn't even supposed to drop him. The uppercuts were supposed to hurt him, and I was going to shoot for a takedown. The hook just happened. It just landed right there, and he was putting so much force in it. It just connected all at the right time, and that's fighting. I mean, we got these little ass fucking gloves on. Like they don't do shit, but like protect my hand from getting broken. Like that's all it's for. Right, exactly. Especially bare knuckle fighting with your hands wrapped up.
How big a deal is to get that performance of the night and get that $50K?
Man, it feels good because, like, you know, you're struggling as a fighter. You're trying to make money. I got a family. I have a gym that I provide. I take care of. I got other pro fighters and stuff. So I'm trying to just put everything in place for my future and such. And then to get that's just like just a big like gold thing right on top of it. So it makes the situation even better. Like that wasn't even in my mind when I went out there. I'm going out there to win. My plan was to push the pace, push him to the third round, and get a submission. That was my plan. And then like that happens in that spectacular form just from doing basic shit. Feels good. And it's on like 4.5 day notice. I didn't really have time to plan for it.
Do you think he didn't take you seriously since you were last minute? Because the way he fought you is like, oh, he might can beat me, but he can't knock me out. That's the way his body language looked to me.
Like we've trained before. Like, that's my boy. We've trained before, and he knows I put people out, but I don't know if it was because he was already in the UFC and he's training at a popular gym. You know, that can get into people's heads. They're like, oh, well, you know, I'm playing here. I mean, like, I'm training too, all because you don't know my coaches and stuff. Every like famous coach was once a coach that no one knew at one time. You know what I mean? So my coaches are world class. It's just no one knows them. Like, you know, we've had two guys from our gym that have gone to the UFC, and one to the Contender Series and stuff. So I mean, like, we've had guys, and like I've trained with Bellator fighters and everything. Justin Wilcox. I mean, I have a lot of guys that I work with, train with professional boxers, and here in Pennsylvania, our wrestling is like 0 to none. Like, it's Pennsylvania versus the rest of the world. So I'm trained with world class grapplers and stuff all the time. So don't think like, all because you don't know the guys I'm training with, they're not like popular or some shit like that I'm not training.
Who's the world class boxers you train with?
So my man Hutch, my boxing coach, he has a boxer out of here, Bill Hutchinson. He's I think he fights at like 135 or so. So I work with him sometimes. There's a couple other boxers from around the way that we train. Like my man Justin Steve, he's 10-2 as a pro boxer. Richie, he's 3-0. So I train with. I mean, like, I box with pro boxers all the time. Like my head coach, his name is Master Whitefang. He was a kickboxer and pro boxer. So I mean, I have a lot of people that like push me in the proper direction and stuff. And then my team is a bunch of fucking savages. My guys are like the fucking. My team are like the fucking Suicide Squad. They're fucking insane. So like, they push me, and they're fast as fuck. They're high levels. They're skill. I have my little brother Justin Patton, Jake, my man John DeSouza. I mean, I got Romeo. I have my man Kakuta. I had a whole bunch of people that really pushed me and help me get ready. And my man, I got another dude. My man Rocky. Rocky's been fighting. He trains me. He trains at another gym out here. But me and him train together all the time. He has like 60 pro fights and stuff. He's fought all over, and he's just a tough nosed dude that just pulls out the hardness out of you. So I know I'm ready when it comes to that war.
So you were coming off a fight 2 weeks prior, and then you get this, like you said, the 4-day notice. The fact that you were familiar with Devontae, did that kind of make that easier for you to be like, okay, I know this dude, and I know how I can perform against him? Even though you were banged up still, like from that.
It made it easier, but it also made it harder. Because I knew Devontae, but it's like okay, you know what you're going up against. Like, oh, okay, this guy's gonna fuck shit up. Like, I mean, like, you know he's gonna fuck shit up, but that doesn't make it any difference. He's still gonna try to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, he's still gonna try to fuck you up, whether you know it's coming or not. Like, everyone knew what Michael Jordan was gonna do. He tried to dunk on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it just because I knew what he was gonna do, it didn't make it any less dangerous. It just made it plain and clear. Like, oh, he's trying to fuck me up. Like, there's no other way around it. He's not trying to go decisions and shit. He likes to knock people out. Like, he had a 100% finish rate. There's no, like, when a motherfucker got a 100% finish rate, he's in there to hurt you. He's not trying to get a decision. He's not trying to be nice or no shit. He's trying to knock you the fuck out. So it made it more of a challenge for me. But knowing that I went with him made me a little bit like, you know, but I know people change. I changed. I'm completely different fighter I was 6 months ago. Completely different. I'm changing constantly. I'm always evolving and stuff. So I knew he was going to be different. But he's younger. Experience is something you can't make up for. He's younger. I got him by 7 years. I've been doing this a lot longer. So even though he's like competing in UFC and stuff, I've just seen a lot more than he has.
So you think it was experience that won, or I thought it was ego? I thought he's like, this dude might beat me, but he ain't gonna knock me out. And you touched that chin and said, yes, sir, I can.
I think he knew I could put him out. I just didn't think he thought I could put him out that way. Like, I think, like, you know, I mean, like, you're a prospect. Everybody's telling you you're a man. Like, I always tell people, you're never as good as you think you are. Like, you're not. Never as good as you think you are. Like, you're not. There's no such thing as an unstoppable fighter. It's impossible. There's no such thing. Every fighter can lose, and especially when you're that. Like, he only had two fights in the UFC. Like, one in Contender Series, that's 3. And the guys that he fought there, they weren't athletes. They weren't high level athletes. They didn't really have twitch reflex. Like they just didn't. Like they were good at different things, but they didn't match his athleticism. And I think with me, he was matched. Like if you watch the fight, he was kind of confused, like the footwork and the movements and the twitch and the twitchness and the speed. He was kind of like, oh shit, he's just as fast as me. Like it was kind of weird. I don't think he had experienced that in his career. I've experienced that in my career before. Like I've experienced it. Like if you experience it in the gym, that's different. But when you experience it in the cage, it's like, oh shit. This guy isn't where I'm supposed to be. Like, what do I do? And I can tell by the look on his face, like he was a little bit shook. Like, oh fuck, he's just as fat as I thought he was going to be. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit weird.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, there was like a lot of mutual respect going on too. You guys, were kind of giving each other high fives a little bit. The crowd didn't like it in the moment, but
my coach, he's like, don't do that shit, don't touch it. Like I do that. If you watch my fight before him, I kept trying to touch the guy's hand before the fight, and he just kept being really angry. And I just kind of like forcefully grabbed his hand. And I'm like, we're gonna touch hands, really? Like it's a fight. Like I don't get I can like it's like as you see in that fight, I can touch your hands and then knock you out 2 seconds later. Like I don't need to be like I stab you and shank you just to beat each other. I'm like, no, we're about to beat each other to death. Why do I need to be an asshole about it? Just fight. Yeah. It's business.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. You guys are putting a lot on the line out there, and I mean the animosity and stuff like that sells to some people. But at the end of the day, if you're still putting all 100% effort, to get in the finish, like what does it matter?
Right. Exactly. You can talk about somebody's mom all you want to, but that doesn't help you fighting. It just makes you look like an asshole. Like you know what I mean? Like you can be like, oh no, I don't touch gloves or I don't do that. I'm like, okay, like. That's cool, but we're still gonna fight. I'm not gonna get more scared. If you don't touch my glove, I'm not gonna be, oh God, this guy's Thanos. I'm like, okay, you didn't want to touch my glove. That's cool. Whatever. Let's keep going.
Hey, you mentioned Thanos right there, and I heard in your post fight you were talking a little bit about like parallel universes and all that kind of stuff. Like where's that interest come from?
I'm a different dude, man. I think outside of, man, fuck it. I don't even think there is a box. I just everything just everywhere. I don't even think so. I mean, I just tell people, I'm a firm believer that there's points in my life that I can remember where I've done certain things that if I would have said no or yes or turned right or instead of turning, I would have been in a completely different place now. So sometimes I just think like I know it just feels weird. Like, pretty sure there's other comers out there. I mean, it's been scientifically proven too that there's like multiple, like it's just as time in itself, like it's all happening. There's no such thing as past and future. It's all happening simultaneously. So when you think like that, it makes fighting really easy because I don't have to over anticipate anything. It's all just in the proper place.
So before we let you go, when do you think you'll be back in the cage? And do you plan on getting in before the end of 2019?
Yes, I want to. I would like to get back in. I have a meeting with my manager tomorrow to talk about some stuff, and I'm going to talk with him. I'm already bored. It's been a week. Like me and my girl, we celebrate our anniversary because we missed it because I was in fight camp again, and I'm back to train. My little brother has a fight coming up, so I'm getting him ready. And a couple of my teammates have fights coming up in November, but I'm hoping to get a fight lined up either December. Or I think there's a New Year's Eve fight, which I think I would maybe like to get on. And then I think there's a couple other things. I think the Kobe Covington fight's in November 2nd in New York City. That would be kind of cool of a card to get on too. So I'm just looking to get the right opponent, someone like a good fun fight, an interesting fight, a fan friendly fight, and get back to work. But I definitely want to fight before the end of the year.
Oh, we'll have to have you on before you come back on. You ball, you get the call. That's why I hit you up. You ball, you get the call. So we appreciate you picking up and making my theory true. Didn't even know it, brother. He like, man, this brother's positive. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, before we get you out of here, we do have our new segment we're doing just this week starting out. So we're hitting you with the quick 1-2, 2 different questions. Okay. So the first one is, obviously this is kind of right up your alley, being in your same division. Who are you taking in Khabib versus Dustin Poirier out in Abu Dhabi?
I've been saying this. Poirier's the man. He's tough as nails. He's proven that he's war ready. But Khabib's like fucking. He's like rubber. You just bounce off and sticks to you. Like I don't know. I don't see nobody beating that dude, man. Like maybe if I get there soon enough, and I give him a piece of my mind. But that motherfucker's like horrible. He's stubborn. He's irritating, and he's just relentless. Like those are the worst kind of fighters. Stubborn, relentless, and he doesn't have a bitch in him. Like if he was a little bitch, it'd be different. We like turn away, but he don't turn away. He just walks straight through. Something like this dude's stupid. Like when he fought Barbosa, and Barbosa kicked him in the stomach like 4 times, he went like this. And I'm sitting like, oh, dude, I would throw up. I'm like that type of pressure. That type of pressure like breaks your mental. Like if you're not ready for that type of shit, it'll just break you. And I think I've seen like Poirier's bad, but I've seen Poirier take a break against Eddie Alvarez. I saw him take a break, like a mental break. And like I mean, Eddie Alvarez.
That was in Dallas. We were at that fight.
Dude, that was an awesome fight. But if you take a break against Eddie Alvarez, you're not ready for the type of shit Khabib's going to bring. Like, so I mean, it'll be an interesting fight, but I don't see him getting past Khabib at all.
And before I ask my question, so you said there was not such thing as a perfect fighter. So there is a perfect fighter. He's in your division.
But Khabib, man, I mean, Khabib gets hit. Though. He gets hit. Like Khabib doesn't mind getting hit, and I'm like, eventually someone's going to hit you right. Like Michael Johnson.
I can tell everybody, if Michael Johnson had any IQ, he could have changed his life. I was at the fight against Gaethje. To this day, I was like the most maddening fight because I had never seen Justin Gaethje fight. I heard about it. I was like, I'm gonna see this in person. He had no business winning that fight. How do you outstrike somebody by 60 licks in a damn round and you lose the fight in that round?
Gaethje's just like.
I'm still mad about that 2 years later, man. That's like the dumbest fight I've ever seen fought. Like, you can't script that. Everything you're not supposed to do, that MFer did it. Like, man, that was like crazy. He was in Vegas on a Friday night. I ain't gonna never forget that. It was the main event. It was right before the 4th of July card, and this fool here just whooping him. Like, oh shit, he about to get him out of there. No, he gets finished because he did everything wrong.
Gaethje got pressure, man. Gaethje don't back up. He got mad hard. He don't give a shit about nothing. Like you saw when he gets knocked, when he loses, you're gonna have to kill him. Like take that motherfucker's soul, because if not, he gonna stay on your ass. Like that's a hard fighter to beat, man. I like that type of style. That's why I like to fight. If I still got a little breathing in me, I'm gonna stay on your ass 24/7.
And then the last question is for me. You're a UFC fighter. We know your struggles just to get here. Who's somebody that said you ain't gonna do nothing? It could be an old girlfriend, a coach, a training partner. They say you ain't doing shit. You ain't about shit. So light them up. It's your time to light them up.
I ain't even gonna call out names, but they know who they is. High haters. I mean, mad people. I had this one. I'm gonna put him on blast. I had this one guy who came to our gym once, and he was a weirdo, straight up weirdo, and he was like always like pretending that he was a fighter and shit. And I remember after I got knocked out, he hit me up, was like he had like a fake Facebook account. He was talking all this shit, yada yada yada, talking about, oh, you're always getting knocked out, all this shit. So I think his name was Valentino or some shit, one of his fake Facebook accounts, but he knows who he is. I'm gonna share this on my Facebook. I'm talking to you because you be talking mad shit. He talked mad shit to so many local fighters, talked about how they'll never get anywhere, they're wasting their time and all this shit. And now I know he probably has a fake Facebook account. He's probably talking about, hey man, good fight, dog. So I know who you are. I don't know whose name you're under now, what fake account you got, but hi, hater.
I like it, man. That's dope. What are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, video proof. Oh yeah, but yeah, man, Khama, man, thanks for the time. We appreciate it, man. You getting that short notice, fantastic win, man. Putting everybody on notice, taking the scene by storm, man. It's a fantastic moment for you and your family, I'm sure. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on that, and much respect to you, and can't wait to see you get in there again.
Definitely hit you up before your next fight, man. You ball, you get the call, man. We appreciate you, man.
Not a problem, fellas. Thanks for having me on, fellas. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Please welcome to the Slip and Dip podcast. Friend of the show, UFC flyweight contender Miss Andrea KGB Lee will be fighting Joanne Calderwood in Abu Dhabi in UFC 242. Is it weird that she's gonna be the first fight, or do you feel disrespected, or does it even matter? That's kind of crazy.
No, I mean it doesn't matter really. I did think that I was going to be later on the card. I mean, for a while the lineup has showed that I was going to be later, but you know that stuff changes all the time. So to me, it doesn't really matter. It's good, you know. I'll be able to get to fight early, and I'll get my win and enjoy the rest of the night. You know.
What about the time zone difference? How you could get over there really soon to get adjusted to that? Like me and Matt usually watch fights separately, but we probably have to watch that fight together. It's like gonna be 1 o'clock during the day over here, so we gonna have to watch it together.
Yeah. I think that I'll be able to adjust pretty quickly to the time change because they're 9 hours ahead, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's easier to adjust, I think, because when I went to Hawaii, we were 5 hours ahead, and I was able to get adjusted to that pretty easily.
So when are you heading out?
I leave out next Thursday, or this coming Thursday on the 29th.
Okay, that's cool. So I mean, that's a long way to travel for a fight. Like this is the farthest you've had to travel for a fight so far, right?
It is, yeah. I've traveled to Chile, and I was about like a 10-hour flight. This is going to take all day.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, one of the concerns we always hear, like when guys and guys and gals have these long flights, you got to worry about like the fluid buildup and keeping your body moving a little bit while you're on the plane. Like, so how much do you have to like plan for that kind of stuff too?
Well, you definitely have to plan. I try to get my weight down at least a little bit lighter than I normally would before I get on a flight, especially with a flight that long. And, I'll try to pack meals, and I'll buy a lot of water and make sure that I'm drinking a lot while I'm on the flight. Because the thing is, the reason that you put on or bloat a lot whenever you fly is because most people they don't drink enough water when they're traveling. So they tend to swell a lot. And by the time you get off the flight, your body's all blown up like a balloon. But if you're drinking a lot, you're peeing the entire time you're on the flight, you're going to be okay.
100%. Yeah, that's wild. So your opponent, obviously, is Joanne Calderwood. What do you see in her as a challenge in preparation?
Well, she's a very skilled Muay Thai fighter. I feel like her strength is there. So, that's where I feel like maybe most of the fight will be on its feet, but I think I'm pretty skilled on the ground too, and my wrestling's not bad. So, I think that wherever it goes, I always feel confident.
How big a deal is to get off to a good start? 'Cause I know it seems like when you put those classic KGB type fights is when you get off to a quick start. Do you think you have to get to a quick start with the time difference and kind of like not being over here and all that stuff, and the fact that she's a slow starter on top of that?
I think so. I think that'll work in my favor. I mean, I like you said, I'm a quick starter. I start fast, and I don't slow down. So I think that that's going to be in my favor. She likes to kind of fill her opponent out for a while. It takes her a little bit to get going, and she doesn't really. I don't really see her pick it up a whole lot. She kind of keeps the same pace the whole time. It's not like a super fast pace, but she's still very skilled. She picks her shots, and she's very fierce with her elbows and stuff. So I have to be aware of that. But I think it's going to be a pretty awesome match. I think it's going to be exciting.
Two-part question. Do you think you need to add that to your game since you have a good cardio, you're never out of shape? Because most fighters in your division don't fight at a high pace. As you saw with the Liz and Valentina. Valentina's very content to sit back there and like, okay, boom, boom, and just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to add that to your game and put that pressure to be able to make these girls crumble and be able to get more spectacular performances and finishes? Because it don't seem like, other than Valentina, nobody's equipped to take high-level pressure for a full 15 or full 25.
Yeah, and I don't even know. you know, full 20 for a full 25. I mean, that's a long time. You know, I know that I'm not ready for that just yet. I mean, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna take a lot. I mean, I am good for 15 minutes. I'm good for 5 rounds, and I'm good probably for 4. But like at the pace that I fight at, I'm gonna have to pick it up. I know it because I mean, like I'm good for the 3 rounds that I'm used to. But if and when I do get that title shot, you know, there's gonna be like a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to add. As far as you know, your question, I think that you know I've just always been that way. I'm a fast starter. It's not that it's not that it's like a game plan or something. It's just something that I've always done, and I think it has a lot to do with the Muay Thai tournaments, the 2-minute rounds that I used to have to fight coming up. Because in those fights, you have to start fast because it's not like you can't pace yourself. You know, you have to start fast and stay on the gas because every second counts when you're fighting for 2 minutes. You know, so that's just how I am, and it's just with each minute that I've gained in a fight. So from 2 to 3 minutes, now to 5 minutes, I just have always stayed on the gas.
And how big a deal is to get in that top 5 so you can get that shot at Valentina? I'm pretty sure you studied the division. Do you see anybody that can put her in harm's way? Because that's what's going to take. Somebody that's going to take chances, that's a crazy lady, and has a crazy pace. Because if she sit back there, she was like laughing at Liz. Literally. She did everything but laugh at her. Like, oh, really? Okay.
I know. I think for some reason, Liz, you know, I really felt like Liz would be the one to at least like give her more of a challenge. I mean, she had already fought her once before and had finished her, but or had won the fight. But I think that Liz was probably fighting a little scared, a little nervous. You know, she wasn't taking you could see it from the way that she was taking her shots. You know, like she was not setting them up well. She was just leaping out there from like out of range, and Valentina could see it and was just able to like sprawl and defend and, you know, pick it off. But and I was really surprised. You know, I really thought that Liz was going to do more than she did.
You sound disappointed by it. Like you were hoping for more.
I think everybody was hoping for more. But I think that Liz did great. She did make it all 5 rounds, you know. So I mean, I'm not trying to take anything from her. I've just sparred with Liz, and Liz is very strong. She's very tough. Her wrestling is really, really good. I thought that her wrestling was going to like give her an edge in this fight, but Valentina proved it wasn't.
Yeah,
she did good. Valentina's great.
How's that fear that she's that person? It's like you need your personal best. Like she's got a standards down that people need their personal best just to compete with her. So how do you be that lady that just shocks the world and pulls off some crazy shit?
I guess you just can't fight scared. You know, you're gonna have to go in there and like give it your all. You know, you can't hesitate. You can't fight at the same pace that she's fighting at. You know, and I feel like, you know, she likes to sit back and just cruise, and she's good at that.
I mean, she's a sparring partner.
Huh?
She makes people sparring partners.
Yeah, she does, and everybody just like, not everybody, but it just seems like most of the people that I've seen her fight against, they get in that same pace. You know,
even Amanda Nunes. That's so obviously Amanda Nunes fought. The time she fought Valentina. So what she doing? She got you mesmerized. I just want to see if you get your title shot, just take chances.
Right. I think that too. I think that anytime that I'm preparing for a fight, I also think about Valentina. You know, because I know that is coming. But first is this fight, and I have to beat Joanne Calderwood before I can even get that opportunity. But I do think about it whenever I see Valentina. You know, and I think about fighting her. She's somebody, you know, if you want that title, you're going to have to take chances. If you want that opportunity, you want to win that belt, you know, you're going to have to take chances. Put yourself.
That's one of the things why I think the placement of this bout's a little weird, because let's say if something were to happen to Caitlin Chukagian, who everybody's saying is getting the next shot, like the winner of your fight against Joanne is probably going to be that next person, you would think, right?
If Caitlin Chukagian doesn't?
Yeah, like if let's say if she, you know, gets an injury or something, you know, God forbid, you know, but it happens in the game all the time. So I would think that the winner of your fight would be on that short list. Of course, Jennifer Maya's still out there ranked ahead of you both, but
right.
still, I mean, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, quote unquote. You guys go out there. Let's say you go out there and get a spectacular knockout. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, Andrea Lee just had this spectacular thing. Let's put her in the mix."
I feel like they are trying to fast track that, but you know, I would like at least for Valentina to get like 2 more fights, and I would like to at least get like another fight or whatever after Joanne Calderwood, because I want to have some time after this fight. Like I want to have time off because I want to just enjoy the rest of this year, because I feel like I've been in fight camp since last year, since December. Yeah. Since that fight fell through, and I haven't really had time to just chill. So I want to enjoy the rest of the year. I want to be able to work on some things, improve some things, and come back in the beginning of next year and have another fight. And then if I get that opportunity, I'm not going to turn it down. I'm going to take it. But I just want to have time because I want, Valentina's someone I need to train really hard for. Not that I don't train hard for every opponent. It's just there's a lot of things that I know I need to work on.
Does it bother you as a competitor when people's like, it's Valentina and everybody else is down here? Like, that's like the narrative going on. Like, we've had coaches say, like, she's got the biggest gap between her competitors than any division, male or female. Does that bother you to be one of those competitors? That's the narrative going around, like, male and female MMA?
I think that's with any champion that gets... I feel like that's with... I don't know. That was what you said. That's what they were saying about Joanna too, and then she got beat finally, I mean, I think, and Cyborg, I think that it's just a thing. It's nothing.
She had 12 years. She got old, though. Cyborg got old.
No, yeah. And Cyborg's still a beast, I still think that she's the best in the world, and I would like to see a rematch, but that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, like, that happens. It's nothing to get in to even like worry about or like,
Yeah, you don't look stressed. Like most of the competitors look stressed. Like Liz, like she was stressed leading up to that fight. Like she looked more stressed for that fight than when she fought Ronda, which is crazy.
I know. It is crazy. I guess all she felt like she had to worry about was an armbar with Ronda, probably.
It still happened.
It still happened.
I also think that like maybe she also knew that this was her last chance at a title shot too.
Maybe, yeah. She's probably really nervous about that.
Yeah, there's probably a lot going on with her there, but it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people were calling it the most boring title fight in recent memory.
Really?
Yeah. I saw that a lot flying around on the Twitter.
There's been a lot of boring title fights. It's not the only one.
yeah, it's true. But I mean, I get it. Kind of sucks because Valentina, she is so good. She is such a dominant champion, and
she's very comfortable.
And they put her on the free card, and then it ends up being a lackluster fight. So it's like, okay, well, kind of justifies putting her on the free card. Kind of sucks. Yeah, because I like to see the most dominant champions get the biggest shine. That's just me personally.
I get it. I agree.
How do you tap into her supreme confidence? Like, it's like another day at the office for this lady. Like, she's sitting there like, I'm gonna crush you. I'm gonna get another belt. She's salsa dancing, and I'm gonna be traveling for the next 2 weeks. Come see me in Australia. Like, she had her plan is that like the fight was just part of her vacation.
Right.
Like her confidence is on a 20. It's like how do you tap into that, or you just have to come out and just pull some Buster Douglas shit?
I mean, I don't know. She's got it together. I mean, she doesn't have any kids that she has to worry about. She just has her own life to live. So I mean, she gets to train. She gets to travel the world. She gets to fight. She gets to do seminars. She can just plan and do whatever she wants. She doesn't have anything really holding her down, nothing else, really that she has to think about other than fighting. So she's got it made.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense, especially, like the family thing's a huge thing, I think. I mean, her and her sister get to travel around everywhere, and like you said, no kids to worry about, and making sure that you're giving them the time that they need too. So yeah, that's kind of a huge thing. I can see that. But ever since you've made your switch to your new gym, your new training partners, everything like that, Do you feel like you're still improving with that group? You're still like picking up new things, especially leading into this fight?
I do. I think that I'm improving. I improve all the time, and I'm learning. Tim shows me things. He teaches me new things, and I really enjoy being there. I like my coaching staff. I like my teammates, and I love the vibe that's there. I'm comfortable, and I don't know. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
That's
Like
good.
it. Mhm.
That's good. That's dope. Yeah, hopefully we can see all that on display out there in Abu Dhabi. Biggest. I don't know. Is this the biggest card of the year? One of the most anticipated fights of the year, at least. But I don't know. I don't know what people are saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a big fight.
Yeah. And what do you
Sure.
what do you make of the? I don't know how much you pay attention to like the numbers and stuff like that at pay-per-views, but like ever since that they've switched to ESPN, we don't get the numbers anymore. They don't say like, oh, it did this many pay-per-view buys. Like, did you ever pay attention to that kind of stuff before?
No, I didn't.
No. Yeah. Well, it's gone now, so nobody really knows. But I don't know.
ESPN knows.
Yeah, ESPN knows, and they're not going to tell anybody. So
No.
yeah, that's just a thing, I guess, that we have to live with. I mean, I was always one of the guys that said, a lot of media members would always highlight the numbers as something that, like, I guess, contributed to the quality of fights in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I was always like, why, if you're a fan, like, why do you care about the numbers?
Right.
If you're a fan, you should care about what's happening in the cage, and that's it. Like, why do you care if 2 million other people watched it?
Exactly.
Did you enjoy what you just saw? Like, that should all should matter.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it has to do with money and all that too. Everybody's curious about how much money that card brought in. Maybe.
Do you have people asking you how much money you make? I think that's the craziest thing. They be like, "Oh, because we cover boxing as well. Like they make, as you know, they make way more money than y'all. But it's like, they're not gonna give us no money off that bonus check. So why we care? Oh, are you sad that you didn't win a bonus or performance of the night? Like, do you get tired of people asking you that, or it's like, my money's my money. Leave me alone.
I don't get hounded about what I make a whole lot. So I mean, it hasn't been an issue as of yet. I mean, of course, everybody wants to win that bonus. Bad when I don't. But
we had somebody on our first guest of the night, Sodiq Yusuff. He was on the last one, and he fought completely out of character and threw down and said he made his mind up. He was gonna go for the bonus. He ended up getting clipped, but he won the fight and got him out of there.
Did you get the bonus?
No, we had a guy that came out the blue that got the bonus, who's also on this show.
Nice.
See, we're all about winning. That's positivity thing over here.
Yeah, I like it.
Right. Let me ask you about, since we're on the subject of bonuses, if you could change up like the structure, like, how obviously, what is it? It's 4 total bonuses that they usually give out. Like, would you rather see it like be a flat pay, like go away with the 50-50, do a flat pay, and then do a bonus for finishes? Like, no matter where you are in the card, if you get a finish, you get a bonus.
Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, yeah. Then everybody would have incentives for trying to finish a fight and not go in the distance,
Yeah. Because it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of disheartening when it's like, okay, I know I'm not gonna pull off a spinning wheel kick like knockout. I know that's getting the bonus. Like if you're sitting in the back and you're watching that, because like you'd be like, I don't have anything that spectacular in my arsenal, unfortunately. Like maybe I could pull off a slick submission and get something, I don't know. I think just a finish bonus across the board would be better for everybody because, like you said, no matter where you are, you'll have more incentive to go out there and try to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's what, like, whenever I fought for Legacy, that they used to have. I think it was just then the fighters aren't getting paid as much, as the UFC fighters are. But I mean, there was $1,000 bonus for anybody that got a finish, a knockout, I think. Or a submission. I think it was just a finish. But, like, those fights, like, were pretty much across the board. Like, everybody was getting a finish.
Yeah.
I was like, everybody's going out there and they were, like, fighting. They're, fighting to the death. They were trying to get that $1,000. Just $1,000. I mean, the UFC can pay much more than that.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like a 50,000. It could be like, I don't know, 10 or 15 for every finish.
You got your bonus. How long did it take for you to get your bonus check that time? That was not this last fight, but the fight before last.
For Chile?
Yeah.
It took me a couple of weeks to get the 50,000. Once, I don't know, probably about like 4 weeks.
Oh, did it show up in your account? You check like, oh shit, there it go.
Yeah.
and talk about your trip. I followed you on Instagram. You went to Hawaii. You took your. I won't call her baby, but she's like 9, right?
Yeah, he's 8.
8. How was it good to give your kiddo that experience a culture that is Hawaii?
Yeah, she loved it. She got to surf for the first time. She caught a lot more waves than I did. She made it look so easy. And we got to snorkel. We got to see sea turtles. And, we enjoyed the beach. And I trained some. I got to hang out with Rachel Ostovich. And we had a lot of fun. I can't wait to take her back. I want to go back next year.
That's dope. I have not been to Hawaii yet. I need to go.
It was beautiful.
That's dope. Yeah, so before we get you out of here, we have a new segment on the show we're starting to do this week. We're calling it the quick 1-2. We're going to hit you with 2 questions. We'll get your response to both of them. The first one is kind of very related to what you got going on in your life right now. First question is, who are you taking in Khabib versus Dustin Poirier in the main event, UFC 242?
I'm going to say Dustin.
All right.
I shouldn't. Of course, like in my heart, Dustin, and I want him to win. I've known him for a very long time. He's a very skilled fighter all the way around. I know Khabib's wrestling is incredible, and he's very hard to get out from underneath once he gets you down. His ground and pound's really good. I mean, he just lays heavy on you. But Dustin is really good on the ground too. He's very skilled. He's very savvy. He's got he's been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, for years, and I mean, he's just really, really good on the ground. Not to mention, I mean, we've seen his hands. He's good on his feet. So I think that if anybody can beat Khabib, I think Dustin can beat Khabib. So I want to say Dustin.
Fair enough. I like it.
And the second question, you've been a pro for about 6-7 years. Who would somebody be, an old boyfriend, ex-husband, somebody from the street that's basically said you weren't gonna do shit, you were gonna be nothing, and you weren't gonna be making it in the UFC like you are now, on the verge of getting a title shot in the UFC? That basically said, you ain't gonna do nothing. What you doing this fighting stuff, or you're not as good as everybody think you are. Who's that person you wanted to pop your collar and say, "Look at me now"?
I did have an ex-boyfriend. No, he wanted me to quit. He was like, it was after the first time that I lost my boxing match. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Well, so are you gonna quit now? And I'm like, "No, I'm just getting started. I'm gonna see where this goes." And then I did have a friend who told me that I was never gonna make any money at it, and that I needed to find a real job. So.
Who's that person? we need names.
It was an old friend. It was an old guy friend. That I don't want to say names. I'm not saying no names. Yeah.
Kids are trying to be messy. That's all.
Nah, I'm trying to get the facts out there. No messy. I'm a fact teller. That's what I do for a living. I'm not a reporter. I'm a fact teller.
I know, but yeah, there was a friend, who didn't think that I was ever gonna make any money at it, so and make it a career. So, but I did.
That's a good way to come up and say we heard about teachers bullying people, and the dude's still mad about it. We got some story. The teachers need to watch what they be saying.
The teachers?
Yeah, teachers. Like two of the other guys we asked the questions to, they were like, "Oh, well, there was this one teacher." And like man, apparently the teachers stick with you. Like when they start tell you can't do anything, and then you end up doing it. So. Yeah, they got hyped up about those teachers that told they could make it.
Right.
Well, then they should. I mean, a teacher is supposed to be inspiring you, to want to go out and chase your dreams. They shouldn't tell you that you're not going to be able to do something, I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not, because I've heard some teachers say some crazy things back when I was in school too. So,
They did. I've had them say things to me, but I wasn't fighting then, so it wasn't like they were telling me not to fight. Just other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Andrea, thanks for the time. We appreciate you as always. Can't wait to see you go to work against Joanne Calderwood.
Top 5 next time we talk to you.
Across the world.
I got your intro planned out. UFC top 5 contender, Andrea KGB Lee.
Yeah, I think. Wait, I'm number 6 right now, or am I 5 now?
6 right now.
Yeah, 6.
Get that dub, you're gonna be in the top 5.
I know. I am. Keeping my fingers crossed, knocking on wood.
Absolutely. Well, take care of business all the way across the world, and we look forward to talking to you afterwards.
All right, guys. Good talking to you. Bye, y'all.